Hello, this is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. Today we will be going over our guided practice section for our Math Monday equivalent fractions. Let's get started. For our first couple of problems, we will be finding the missing number. Okay, we're giving a fraction and we're saying that it's equal to, and we have a number for the denominator, but we don't have one for the numerator. Okay, so essentially for both problems we are looking for the numerator. Let's start with 1/4. Okay, let's find the missing number. 4 times what is equal to 8? Okay, 4 times 2 is equal to 8. Pretty simple. Now let's see what we need to do with that numerator. Whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do to the numerator. So since we multiplied the denominator by 2, we also have to multiply the numerator by 2. 1 times 2 is equal to 2. So our answer is 1/4 is equal to 2/8. Remember that whatever you multiply or divide the numerator by, you do the same thing to the denominator. Okay, let's look at our next problem. 9/12 is equal to, again, we have the denominator, which is it's 4, and we have to find the numerator. Okay, if you notice that our denominator decreased, we went from 12 to 4. So instead of multiplying, we will do what? You're right, we would divide. Okay, so 12 divided by what number is equal to 4? If you said 3, you're absolutely correct. 12 divided by 3 is equal to 4. And again, whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. And our answer is 9/12 is equal to 3/4. Great job. Now let's move on, and remember that as we're going along, make sure that you put the answers down on your guided practice sheet if you've printed it out. Okay? Next, multiply to find an equivalent fraction. Again, multiply to find an equivalent fraction. We have 1/4 is equal to, and also 3/4 is equal to. And we're trying to find a fraction that we could use as we multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Okay? So, for 1/4, let's think of what we could use. And remember, you're always going to use the same number when you multiply in the numerator and the denominator. So, because it's really, you're only really multiplying the fraction by 1. So, for instance, if you have 4 divided by 4, we know that any number divided by itself is equal to 1. And then 1/4 times 1 is equal to what? 1/4. So although it may seem like we're changing the fraction, not really. All we're doing is renaming it, okay, with an equivalent fraction. So let's look at some answer choices for 1/4. Okay, we have 1/4 in the top left hand corner. We have 1/4 times 2/2. That's equal to 2/8. So we can use that as an equivalent fraction. We have 1/4. This is in the top right hand corner. 1/4 times 5/5 is equal to 5/20. Okay, the bottom left hand corner, 1/4 times 11/11 is equal to 11/44. And also 1/4 times 3/3 is equal to 3/12. Any of these answers can be used, but you know what? You can use any answer. We could have multiplied the numerator and denominator by 6, by 7, by 50, by 100, by 35. Any number you want to use, you can, but you only have to remember to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Okay? So let's look at 3/4. And again, The only thing that we need to remember is that whatever fraction we're going to multiply 3/4 by, the number in the numerator and the denominator have to be the same. Here's some answer choices. Starting at the top left-hand corner, we have 3/4 times 7/7. That'll be equal to 21/28. We have 3/4 times 3/3. This is equal to 9/12. 3/4, bottom left-hand corner now, 3/4 times 12/12 is equal to 36/48. And 3/4 times 2/2 is equal to 6/8. And remember, guys, you can use whatever number you want. Now, on your answer sheet, you do not have to put all of these problems. I just wanted to give you some options that you could use, okay? Just to kind of, maybe you don't want to use a low number like 2. Maybe you want to use a high number like 12 and use 36/48. It's up to you. So in that space, you only need to put one fraction. Let's move on. Divide to find an equivalent fraction. Now, for this one, instead of multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same numbers, we are going to divide, okay? We are going to divide each of these fractions to find an equivalent fraction. Let's get started. So for our first problem, we want to divide 8/12. Now, in finding out what number we are going to divide 8, the numerator and the denominator by, we think to ourselves, what's the greatest, or we can say largest number that goes into both 8 and 12 evenly, okay? What number, the greatest number, the largest number you can think of that can go into 8 and 12 evenly? And the answer is 4, okay? The answer is 4. So 8/12, we're going to divide the numerator and the denominator by 4, and our equivalent fraction is going to be 2/3, okay? So 8/4 divided by 4 in the numerator and the denominator is equal to 2/3. Let's look at our next problem. Okay, we're going to divide again to find an equivalent fraction of 2/6. And again, we're going to think to ourselves, what's the greatest or the largest number that goes into 2 and 6 evenly? And if you said 2, you're absolutely correct, okay? 2 is the greatest number that goes into both 2 and 6 evenly. So let's look and see what our answer is. We have 2/6, or 2/6 divided by 2/2. That is equal to 1/3, okay? Because you multiply 2 divided by 2, I'm looking at the numerators. 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3, okay? So an equivalent fraction of 2/6 is 1/3. Let's look at our last problem. You guys are doing great. For our last problem, we are going to divide to find an equivalent fraction for 5/10, okay? And again, we want to find out what is the greatest or the largest number that goes into both 5 and 10 evenly. And that answer is 5, okay? The answer is 5. So what are we going to do? We are going to divide the numerator and the denominator by 5, okay? So going across, we're going to say 5 divided by 5 is equal to 1, and 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2. And that is it. You guys did great. This is the guided practice. There is also an independent practice with the same type of problems, and if you get stuck, you can go back and look at this video to help you to answer the problems. Parents, coming soon, we will be having a summer math enrichment program entitled Gearing Up for the Next Math Level. This is for students entering 3rd to 8th grade. It's basically to help them kind of dust off the cobwebs, to remember some of the math concepts they went to in their previous grade, to prepare them for success for the next grade. This is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. Visit us at www.hypemath.com. Talk to you later.